Blessed be witches! It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are doing something really fun. We are making the feather smudge wands from scratch. It just allows you to be able to cleanse if you have, let's say, Palo Santo, if you have sage, dried sage that you got from a grocery store and you don't have the sage bundles to be able to fume with. It just makes everything so much easier, not to mention the fact that it's just a really cool witchy item to have. And you know me, boo-boos, I love all of this cool nifty witchy stuff, you know what I'm saying? There is no right, there is no wrong, there is just what feels natural. So for mine, what I'm going to be using, and I might not use everything here because again, like I said, I'm going to go with what feels right to me. But the key fundamental things you're going to need is you are going to need a glue gun, the glue sticks, natural fiber cord or twine if you want. I have some feathers here in a variety of colors, yes darling, and sizes. Some shards of crystal here. This is hematite for grounding. Beads. I have some twine. And I have some quartz points. I am also using, I believe this is called doweling. I got it at the hardware store, a large piece for next to nothing. So you want to cut it to the size that you want. And of course I have a little saw here that I use to cut it. And as I said, this is my own thing. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing, make my own, and you guys make your own. I just want to set, I just want to put it out there for you. Just let you know you can do it. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my quartz crystal. Now I don't know if I'm going to put one on the top and one on the bottom, or if it's going to put one on the top. I don't know. We're just going to see where the vibration takes a witch. I'm going to take my quartz crystal and I'm going to just apply some of my glue. Okay? I have this here and I'm just going to adhere that right on to this. I'm going to be wrapping this anyways, but I want to make sure that it's in place so I'm not struggling with this at the very end, trying to get this all to come together, boo. Now for those of you who are thinking, geez Louise, I could possibly make a wand out of this. You can, boo! The sky's the limit. So I know I want some white and I want some black. I think I'm feeling kind of vibing on the elements today, a little goddess and god. Right? A little light and dark. And I'm even going to take a little bit of these little bitty ones because they're cute. You want to grab your glue gun, got little pieces here, and just set little places. Just a little bit, and just keep building up, honey. Just start building it up. Now, of course, you can do a flat one if you want. You can do a round one. I'm going to go around in circles on this, and I'm just going to keep on adding the feathers and layering up until I get the density of feathers that I'm looking for. Et voila! This is the beginning stage of my smudging wand. So now what we're going to do is I am going to take this bracelet that I have and I'm going to cut it open and I am going to use these pieces. Anything that's really a wand that I've created, I will tend to put beads on them. Not all the time, but most of the time. And I have this really cute hematite heart that I am going to be working into this in some way, shape, or form. And what I'm going to do with this fishing line is I am going to put quite a bit in it. I'm going to double this up, okay? So I'm going to have a loop. This is what will allow it to not fall apart. And you want to give yourself a generous amount of line as well. So it's about this long. And I'm just going to, now that I have one small piece at the bottom, I'm going to start adding other pieces of hematite onto this. Now it's sealed in there to be able to get my little clinky clink sound that I like to have on my wands. So I have 3 different kinds here. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. So I made 3 separate ones in different sizes and in different sequences. Okay, because I wanted to make it very unique and beautiful. And I decided that little heart that I was talking about earlier, I decided that I was going to put that at the top of my smudging wand. You don't want to leave a lot of room, but you want to leave enough room so that when you have the thread on it, it's still going to be able to move freely. I'm going to get Loki to come in and assist me with this, okay? The easiest way to do this, okay, is you create a knot first, okay? So I have a loop for a knot, okay? Then you want to go up onto it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just weave over it so that it kind of keeps it in place. Do you see that? So it's in place because I'm weaving over, and then when I have a little bit of space, I'm going to separate these two, okay, so that I can kind of knot them. Not the prettiest looking thing, but this is all going to be hidden, so you don't really have to worry about that. All right, let's move on to the next one now. So I'm going to take this twine that I have up, and I'm going to push it up a little further, and I'm going to knot my first knot a few times to hold it in place. And there you have it. So you have your little dangly pieces, all different sizes, hanging from the bottom. Oh, Loki, we're not done yet. Now we have to add in the top part, which is this little heart that I want to put in there. Now this you want to leave quite a bit of space on. You are going to be tying it with natural yarn, so it's going to have to stick out somewhere. So if you have it too tight, what will end up happening is you won't be able to you'll have to cover it basically with the yarn. So you don't want to do that, and then you're just going to tie it off. Now this looks like a big old mess at the beginning, but it will come together really beautifully. So now you're going to cut off all the excess pieces. You don't want to cut too close because they will, with this kind of cord, fishing line, it will just fall right apart, and you don't want that to happen. Now we start to bind it. And you're not going to start with this, the very tip on it. You want to fold it, okay? So you almost have a loop, and you're going to place that where you want to start, and you're going to have this little piece pointing down, and you're going to hold that in place. Then you're going to start to wind. Okay? Now the reason why you do this is because it will allow you to hold this in place. Okay? And it gives you the ability to be able to tighten it to the extent that you want. And you want to stay as close as you can, unless there's a certain look you're going for. And sometimes the little imperfections make them look all the more beautiful. Okay? And again, as you can see, I am really building up the base here, okay? Really building it up because I want it to be very taut and tight, okay? Now that I have that done, I don't have to hold this little bitty piece anymore, and I'm gonna start incorporating in my first crystals, okay? So I'm just gonna continue to go, and this time I'm gonna bind tightly still, but just one after another, not going over and over and building up. I'm just going to cover the wood part, okay? Again, if you want to cover it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go under my crystal. So it's hanging right here. So I'm going to put my first piece under the crystal, and I'm going to push it up, okay? So the crystal is just hanging out of it. And then I'm going to continue to bind, getting as close as I can, pushing up while I can. Every time I go around, I'm going to push up and push up just to ensure that I have it very tightly together, right? And the crystal is just hanging there ever so freely, looking beautiful. So now the wonderful thing about binding this is that you can actually go over it and turn it a little bit and twist it, and you can actually get it to tighten on its own. Now you don't want to do this one as tightly because I'm going to show you a little trick on how to be able to tighten this, okay? Okay, so you're going to cut a piece of cord that's a bit longer, okay? As you can see, I have it all bound, okay? Now you're going to loosen these up a bit, and you're going to weave this into itself, okay? So how we do that is you spin it a little bit, and you get where the loops are starting to come off, okay? And then you just start to work your way down through the loops. Now this is a little time consuming and it can get a little frustrating at times, but think about the end result. You have your own handmade smudge wand for a fraction of the price. Truly, y'all, it's worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to continue. Now another easy way of doing this, but unfortunately I don't have it here now, is you can use a crochet hook. The ones that close, those are another easy way. I don't have that here, and I wanted to get this all done for y'all. So I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way and use my fingers. So now I'm about 6 up, okay? Now how do you finish this off? You just want to start twisting it to where you're tightening it again, okay? So I'm twisting and I'm tightening, and you'll find that these ones up here, they start to tighten and retain their shape, okay? You want to make sure that you hold the one on the back, keep twisting and pulling, okay? Remember to position your crystals where you want them to be. And it's really easy to do once you've got the hang of it. I'm pulling this last one up here, I'm going to pull this to tighten it. And all you do now is you cut off this last piece and just start to fold it in under one of the other ones. Now again, you don't have to fold it in. If you want the piece hanging out, that's fine too. And there you have it, which is your own handmade smudging wand that is versatile, fantastic, created by your own hands, has your own personal power in it. Yes, yes. That little jiggly? This whole thing cost me under 15 euros. The most expensive thing I bought was the crystals to put, and that was $4.99. And I still have much stuff left to make more. So boo-boos, if you have not press subscribe, join the Witch Please family and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always leave a comment below or send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com. Now, I said it before, boo-boos, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic. And you are always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch